What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your daily astrology horoscope for Wednesday, October 13th, 2021. Astrologer Brian Scarborough here, Fixed Air Moon, keeping the collective fixed on astrology. Appreciate you all so much. Thanks for being here with me. Wednesday. All right, we're going to have that moon finish up in Capricorn. That was a heavy Capricorn moon. I think we had to figure out a lot of decision making and had to come to that justification of where we can be the most true to ourselves, the most authentic form of our character, and that took, big decisions. I think that we had to make emotionally, and today we are going to get kind of a split day. That moon's going to finish up in Capricorn, and then, about 1:30 p.m. on the West Coast, come into Aquarius, but it crosses Pluto in the morning after making squares to the Sun and Mars and all that energy in Libra. And this is a deep dive. I mean, Pluto just came direct. This is where in our personal lives and emotions we can really see like what were the necessary steps to get up this mountain of life right now, and how to find the justice and beauty by really taking authority over our lives. Was big personal decisions and uncovering a lot of truth. So not only in the world is a lot of truth being uncovered, but this was, really about the personal life and what the truths are that are showing up right in front of your face in your environment with that North Node in Gemini that's oh so important. And that moon will trine over to that North Node and sextile the South Node. Definitely a lot. It's not going to get quite all the way to Saturn today. It's going to get very close, and to that sextile to Venus as well. But there is that buildup to coming over Saturn. So it's interesting getting the moon crossing over to Pluto direct now, and Saturn, who is stationed direct, just came direct this week on Sunday, and really feeling into this big like destiny, these big, long-term personal stuff and decisions that are taking you into your future. And I think a lot of it is about the relationships. A lot of it's about all this work and understanding of what's going to bring the most beauty into your life right now, and really doing those things, really trusting your gut, and finding that authority within how you're feeling about the matter, and not wavering or not being a pushover, because that sun is in quincunx to Neptune. Mars is getting there. It just that there's a spiritual authority that we want to push the limits for, and that's going to bring in the balance, and that's how we're going to find justice in our lives. And it is through these sort of weird, kind of also trying to be accepting of the change that is showing up, and initiate from that change of that intuitive knowing and what needs to be taken care of in this time, to go into the future. So I would say, with that moon coming into Aquarius too, it's almost like a little, I can kind of get out of this heavy, depth of emotion that I've been going through. And it crossed over Pluto early in the morning, and it's almost like, okay, I can kind of take a step back and objectify these decisions. And I think that, today is where maybe, you weighed out a decision, or maybe you just bossed up and made it over the last 2 days. But whatever, came about in your personal life, I feel like today's where you really understand why you made the decision you made, and if it was in the best interest of you, from a more disconnected from just like an emotion about it, but a more like smart and intelligent place of why you made it. So I think that can bring a lot of benefit, to be honest with you. And with the sun making that trine over to Jupiter, but that's starting to build, so that's great. I mean, this is definitely where we're seeing the future unfold for us, and it's about the decisions, and it's about kind of taking the unconventional route to see the goodness and the abundance that can show up in our lives, and the people that are so important and beautiful that are showing up in our lives to kind of help us navigate these waters, and to understand it better, even from a personal perspective, and then looking at the other and getting that reflection back to see where we're going. This is Venus and Saturn sextile day. I mean, this is, again, like, this can be extremely positive if you're linking up with the right people that are ready to be dedicated to the future that you are, that are stable and secure in themselves and in their own, sort of natural way of being true to themselves, and their own sense of their unique individual identity, and they're identifying with that and linking up with tribe. And what is this, exploration going to look like? I don't think we have all the answers to it, but I think that the universe is putting people in front of us right now to go into that space with. But it can also be putting people in our life that are in some ways testing us to make sure that we are being responsible and going into the expanse with the right people. So there's a little bit of a seriousness, but at the same time, like, there's also a glue with like Venus and Saturn, because I mean, these are people that will dedicate to each other. These are people that will, and especially in these freedom oriented signs of Sagittarius and Aquarius, like about really going into the future and the expanse, and knowing that you're going to come out on the other side with the knowledge and the wisdom that you need within yourself, and within partnerships, and how to find that sort of that expanse and beauty that can be there. So pretty powerful day. I say that all the time. I can't get it out of my head. Every day is powerful right now because we're coming into such intense times. And, life can already feel intense, but this is like the prep, and seeing the beauty in the intensity and in the chaos, and knowing that there are ways out, but you have to use your common sense. You have to use your individual genius, and not just get stuck being pushed into a corner, and not, following your truth. So I think any way that you can follow your truth and dedicate to that, that's where this great expanse personally is trying to come in. And that's where the gift is with the Sun Jupiter that we're building up on, as the Sun is working on its square over to Pluto by Sunday. So yeehaw. Let's get ready to, basically we're in a time of just extreme exposure. And the decisions we make about what gets exposed in our own personal lives and in the world is so important for all of our evolution as a collective, and especially in our personal lives, as we start to see where big plans are really going, and what is really getting revealed outside of us, and how we can be in our center to make positive decisions for our future as individuals, and what that looks like with the people right in front of us in our lives. Sending you all my love and best. I do appreciate you so much for being here with me and listening to these horoscopes. Hey, it's a Sun Jupiter week. There is benefit out there, but it's a little more like you got to go into the weird and the unconventional, and that's where the benefit is, and that's where the beauty and harmony will be. It feels like we're living in like backwards land, but Jupiter's still, retrograde. So there's a lot that we're internally processing about our belief within society. And this really comes back to a more personal note about, are you kind of going in the most unique route that you feel called to, that's going to expand your world? And are you linking up with the people that are the gift, as that reflection of yourself, as we are entering Intenseville world. Nine of Cups in reverse. I think this is definitely about, it's one of those days where we are still in kind of intense waters. We're still having to really navigate what's going to bring us this sort of sense of, I've almost gotten to this completion point. But it's like we can find that completion point. We almost just have to take a step back and objectify these things and make sure that we're being smart, especially with people. I think that that's very important today. It goes into relationships, or just friends and groups, society. We're in times where the outer world and the other part of our life can just definitely try to derail all of the inner work that we've done. And we really got to come back and be like, no, not this time. Not this time. I've done enough of this. I've seen enough of this. That's done. And I'm going to keep going in a direction that's going to feel really good for me. We got that card because of the Five of Cups in reverse. So we're getting out of, I think that's what it is too. It's like there could be tests karmically, or intense feelings of like trying to kind of get you back into an old cycle or something that brought you down in life. And this is where it's like, no, I'm not getting brought down by that shit. Not anymore. I've done that work. This is where I'm making big decisions to go into the future that I want to create, that's going to bring beauty into my life. So I think we're getting out of a lot of that. And what's the overall? Yeah, the King of Swords. It's just those kind of cold, disconnected, not getting super emotional, but making smart decisions based on like, I've already done this before. It already took me into this place of not feeling good. it's just over. Like I'm going in this direction. There's no changing my mind. This is it. I already know where the goodness is in my life, where the balance is, who I want to be around, who I don't, who's taking my energy, who's what outside of self is trying to, back me into a corner. And no, I've made my decision. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what it is. It could be just really finding that mental clarity that we've been looking for by disconnecting from the emotion and getting out of cycles of sorrow or doubt internally, and really like not being doubtful, bossing up, being like, no, maybe this is the cold decision day where it's like, things get a little cold with the moon in Aquarius. And it's just like, no, this is how it is. This is where my future is going. This is who I want to relate with. This is where my journey's heading. Is yours going that way? Sweet. If not, sorry. No disrespect, no hate. But I got to go this way because it's gonna be the best for me. And it's all about that sort of unconventional knowing within yourself that you are doing what's right for you. I think it's very important. I love the astrology today. I'll be honest. Things are ramping up, but I think that today's definitely going to bring some positivity that we may have been lacking over the last couple days or even the week. So hopefully you're starting to feel that positivity come up within yourself, and whatever you channel that into is so important. So hopefully it's something creative and expressive and true to you. I love you all very much. I'll catch you tomorrow. Peace.